for shit, yeah, they breath stank. Walk up in the club, dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an...
What's going on, fight fans? It's another great day when you love MMA. Welcome back to Matty Fight Talk. Bellator 285. It's going down at the 3 Arena in Dublin, Ireland, September 23rd, which will be a Friday. These guys are taking the fight card overseas. The Irish fans are going to be going absolutely insane. You know how they do. They got a lot of Irish fighters on the fight card, so this is going to be a home field advantage for these dudes. But headlining this fight card at 285 is going to be Benson Henderson taking on Peter Queally. Now, this is going to be a really good matchup here in the lightweight division. Benson Henderson, who's 38 years old, 29 victories, 11 losses. He's got 3 KOs and 11 submissions. Then you got Peter Queally on the other hand, 35 years old, 13, 6, and 1. 3 KOs, no submission victories. 5'10 for Queally, 5'8 for Henderson. It's going to be an interesting matchup here. Benson Henderson brings a lot of experience into this fight. He has 11 career title fights. Not all of them are victories, obviously, but having the experience of being a champion, I feel like that brings a calm to you as a fighter where, you know, you've been on the big show, you've been on the main card plenty of times, you've been in the headliner plenty of times. So he's used to this. Peter Queally, on the other hand, I don't believe he's had a title fight yet. I think he's had one that I can think of. Queally's 3-2 in his last 5. He fought Patricky Pitbull twice. One of them was a second-round KO victory. One of them was a second-round TKO loss, or KO loss, my bad. 10 of his 13 wins, though, are by decision. So this guy is used to fighting out the distance. He's used to going the whole way, making it a dogfight. Now, Henderson, he's 2-3 in his last 5. He last defeated Islam Mamedov, a split decision victory, but he did lose to Michael Chandler, Jason Jackson, and Primus. So he's on a little bit of a slippery slope here. You know, he's been fighting in Bellator since 2016, so he's faced a lot of the top-tier talent over there. I think going into this fight, he is bringing a lot of experience. Like I said, Queally is going to have to bring it. He has the home field advantage. He has the Irish fans behind him. And during the pandemic, you know, we learned that these crowds, they bring an energy that is missing. It is fun to watch fights with no crowd where you can kind of hear everything that's going on. You can hear the corners, you can hear the strikes landing. It brings a different, you know, fan perspective where it's very intense. You feel like you're very in on what's going on. But the crowd energy, these people screaming and yelling and helping you get out of tough positions, helping you finish when you're dominating, I believe that is an energy and an adrenaline rush like no other. You know, I've played football, I've fought MMA, I've done boxing matches, like, and having a crowd there and having them either cheer for you or whatever, just hearing that reaction, it gives you a second gear. So I know that Queally is going to be using that to his advantage. Henderson, he's 38 years old now. He's not a young man anymore. It's very interesting to see what he wants to do. I feel like if he can turn this into a grappling match, he has a very big advantage in this fight. I think if he can get this fight to the ground, you know, he might do some vintage Henderson stuff, land some ground and pound, go for a submission. He's very tricky. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You know, Queally's got his handful in this fight. For me, the main event, who I got winning this one, I got Benson Henderson, and I got him winning by a decision. I don't think he's going to be able to finish Queally, considering the fact that they're fighting in Ireland, and this dude is an Irishman. He's from Ireland, so I don't think that he's going to allow himself to just get finished in front of his home crowd. You know, Henderson's a little bit older. He does have some holes in his game, but I do think he's going to get the job done. I think he's going to turn it into a grappling match. He's going to go for a lot of takedowns. He's going to press the action and do what we've seen in a lot of recent UFC and Bellator fights where, you know, the guys constantly shooting takedowns, getting on top. Even if they don't do much, that's winning. That's an advantage. So I got Benson Henderson winning that fight. The co-main event of that evening for Bellator 285 is going to be Romero versus Melvin Manohoef. Now, this is going to be a fucking really good fight. Romero's 45, Melvin's 46. These guys ain't no young boys anymore. These are the old lions going in there. 2 bad motherfuckers. I mean, the fans are lucky with this one. They got 2 bangers in there. Romero is a really good wrestler, but he doesn't really use his wrestling in fights. He uses it to get off the ground. He uses it to defend takedowns, but he doesn't really go for takedowns. Yoel is 14-6. He's got 12 KOs, no submission victories, oddly enough. He likes to stand and bang with these dudes. Melvin, 32, 15-1, 29 KO victories. He's has 6 KO losses and 7 submission losses. So if I'm Yoel Romero, you know, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, struggles on the ground. I'm not known for my jiu-jitsu, but I might want to use some of that shit in this fight. Now, Yoel Romero won his last fight against Alex Polizzi in a third-round KO. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he broke his jaw because I saw a picture going around the internet of a cracked jaw, and I'm pretty sure it was from that last fight. He also lost his Bellator debut by split decision to Phil Davis. So he's 1-1 in Bellator right now. You know, he really wants to prove himself and show that he's not just some guy that came over to the UFC and he's past his prime and all this good stuff. He wants to show that he's still an animal. And for being 45 years old and built like this, dude, shit's crazy. I mean, Melvin's no little motherfucker either. That guy's a jacked, big dude. But Yoel's like, the dude's a freak of nature. He's built like a fucking silverback. That guy's giant, ripped, hits hard. He's a very tough guy to finish. Melvin, on the other hand, has 25 first-round KOs, 3 second-round KOs. This guy's a finisher. He has 28 of his 32 wins are by first and second-round knockout. The guy is absolutely no joke. He has been hurt in his career. He has 15 losses, and a lot of those losses are finishes. So it's not like he's just going out there and dominating the fight. You know what I mean? Yoel definitely has a chance, but judging off of the way his style of fight, he's a very patient fighter. He explodes really well. If it's going to decision or it's going later in the rounds, Yoel doesn't press the action as much as you would like him to, knowing that he can take a punch, knowing that he can land a bomb to finish the fight. He doesn't press it. He does. So in the judge's eyes, you know, it looks like you're not engaging. It looks like you're not being the aggressor. So sometimes you don't win a decision that way. And I feel like Melvin is going to be an aggressor. He's a kickboxer. He's fought in K1 for a really long time. I think he's going to press the action in this fight. These guys are going to get into some nasty exchanges. And honestly, Yoel's a little bit flat-footed. Melvin's a really good kickboxer. Now, if he gets caught, obviously he could get knocked out. It could be very dangerous for him. If Yoel wants to shoot in and make this a grappling match, that would be the most interesting thing. But I don't think so, judging off of the way he's been fighting. I think it's going to be a stand-up war. And I think Melvin ends up getting a late third-round knockout in this fight because I think Yoel's going to be able to hang. He's going to use some good defense. He might land some tough shots that I think Melvin might be able to get through because I feel like he's going to have the better head movement and footwork in this fight. And I think Melvin is going to send a head kick or some power bomb shot to Yoel's giant-ass head, and he's going to knock this man out. I think Melvin's going to get the victory, third-round KO. That's what I'm taking in this fight. Let me know who you guys got. The next fight on this stacked fight card, we got Mads Brunel taking on Pedro Carvalho. Mads is 16-4, 1 KO with 9 submissions. And then you got Pedro, who's 12-6, 2 KOs and 6 submissions. Now, these guys are high-level grapplers. They're finishers. They're grinders. It's going to be a really, really good fight. Both guys are going to be fighting at featherweight for this one. You got Denmark taking on Portugal. It's going to be really interesting. Brunel has 8 first-round victories in his career so far, and he last lost to Adam Borix by decision, who is fighting for the belt at featherweight now. So losing to the #1 contender, you know, it sucks, but he is 4-1 in his last 5, so he was on a little bit of a tear for a second, and you know he's going to be trying to bounce back in this fight. Pedro has 6 first-round finishes, 2-3 in his last 5. He is also a very, very good grappler. I'm very curious to see how this fight plays out because if you guys remember the last Bellator fight card, 284, between Gracie, Yamauchi, those guys were super high-level grapplers, and it ended up being a knockout victory. So usually when you got 2 really good grapplers, you're going to see a lot of exchanges. You're going to see a lot of grappling exchanges. You're going to see these guys transitioning a lot. I don't think one might get the upper hand on the other, and usually it leads to a stand-up war. So if that's the case, I got Brunel winning by probably a decision. I think it's going to go 3 rounds because, like I said, these guys are durable and they are finishers, but I think that they're going to offset each other. You're not going to get the upper hand on Carvalho. Carvalho's not going to get the upper hand on Brunel. I think they might both get in good positions, but they're both dangerous. And with that being said, they're going to have a lot of respect for each other's game. It might turn out to be a stand-up war. And I think it's going to go 3 rounds. I think it is going to go the whole 3 rounds, but we'll see what happens, man. Bellator is a hard one as far as decisions go because a lot of these fights end by like decisive victories. It's either a KO or a submission. So I think Brunel is going to get the 3rd round decision though because these guys are so high level grapplers. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Further down the fight card, we got Leah McCourt taking Diana Silva. I'm not sure how to say her name. I don't want to mess it up either. But Leah McCourt, 5-2, 1 KO, 2 submissions. Then you got Silva, who's 10-7 with 2 KOs. This is going to be a good fight. It's going to be at 145 for the women. Now, McCourt is 4-1 in her last 5. She's 5-1 in 6 Bellator fights. She's only fought in Bellator as a pro. And to be honest, that's a pretty fucking goddamn good record for only fighting in a pretty big promotion as a professional athlete. Now, Silva, on the other hand, she's 2-3 in her last 5, and she's 1-2 in Bellator fights. So Silva's going to need to bring it in this fight. She's going to need to prove herself. And, you know, fighters who have their back against the wall like that, they usually do bring it. And they show a lot of potential and a lot of skill in fights where they need to prove themselves to stay on the Bellator roster. And I know once you're on like a platform like PFL, Bellator, UFC, you know, one of these bigger promotions, you don't want to fall off of that. But McCourt, to me, she's a winner. She knows how to win. And to have all of her fights in Bellator just makes me think that she's been fighting higher level competition. So I'm taking Leah McCourt to win this one. And I'm going to say she gets the job done by 2nd round submission. She's probably going to get the better of Silva, and she's going to put her away. So I got Leah McCourt winning that fight. And then the fight card opener for the main card is going to be Kieran Clark taking on Georgia Sasu. Clark 5-0 right now as a professional, really solid. Only fought in Bellator as well. All of his victories have come on the Bellator banner. Then you got Sasu, who's 5-2, 1 KO, 2 submissions. He's 4-1 in his last 5. This fight's going down at featherweight as well. These are some really high-level fighters that they got going on here. And Kieran's from Ireland, so you know the crowd's going to be behind him. I just like how they have one fighter from Ireland on every fight on the main card. It's pretty dope. Sasu representing France. This is going to be he's coming up from 135, stepping into the 145 round. So it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with that extra 10 pounds, if he can handle that, or if it's going to, you know, benefit him in any way. But Kieran's he's a little bit of a badass, man. Having all your fights in Bellator, like I said, speaks a lot. He's been on a big platform already, and he's proved himself time and time again. 3 finishes in 5 professional fights, especially taking on the competition that he has. I think he's going to get the job done here. I'm thinking that he's probably also going to submit Sasu. I don't see this fight going past the 1st round. Honestly, these guys are probably going to bring it, and I just have a feeling from watching Bellator fights, these fights end early. I got Clark winning, 1st round submission. Sasu's going to come out, try to prove himself. I think he's going to get stopped early. Like always, guys, thanks for watching my video. Hit this like button. Hit the bell icon to be notified when I drop more content. Let me know who you guys got winning on this main card, and I'll see you guys on the next video, baby.
Haters talking shit, yeah, they breath stank. Walk up in the club dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an